Are Kenyan politicians philanthropic? Or are they just opportunists? I want you to respond to that question even before listening to this video. And I'm asking that question because yesterday something shocked me. Semelango posted something on his Facebook page. And I want to read it to you if you missed it. Semelango is saying, supporting government on coronavirus. I have decided to donate Kenya shillings 25 million to support the vulnerable families in slum areas within Nairobi and parts of Nyanza region. Part of the money will be used to pay rents for those paying below 5,000 within Nairobi informal sector. So Semelango is willing to donate 25 million Kenya shillings targeted at helping the most vulnerable within slums in Nairobi and in Nyanza. And is continuing that will be informal settlements in Mathare, Kibra, Gomongo, Lang'ata, Embakasi, and Kasarani. The rest of the money, just listen, the rest of the money will purchase a family survival kit. That is unga for ugali, ungangano, cooking oil, rice, salt, soap. Those are normally the basic things you'll find in any poor man's house. Contact person details for Nairobi informal settlement will be provided, but rent monies will be wired directly to either the head of the family or to the landlord or agent upon agreement between two parties with at least a neighbor confirming rent distress. More details will follow. Requesting genuine community leaders within the mentioned area to contact Simba on telephone number that Nyanza will be coordinated by Humphrey Obora and Shadrach Macho on this number. Thanks and God bless you. So Semelango is still a young man and is willing to spend 25 million Kenya shillings. Semelango currently is not an elected leader, but is an aspiring politician and is willing to donate 25 million. And that's why I'm asking you, is these donations proving to Kenyans that we have philanthropic politicians? Or is it opportunity politicians are taking advantage of? Because since this coronavirus came up, most leaders have actually been donating. If you go to Embakasi East, Babu Owino is literally feeding the constituents. Is giving them almost weekly unga, mafuta ya kupika, sabuni, and all those basic stuffs. And the people around those areas really appreciate the efforts by Babu Owino. You go to Sang, the governor for Nandi, I saw the governor for Nandi donating jerrycans to the residents of Nandi. Remember, currently, jerrycans have become so expensive because people need them to use them for hand washing during this corona crisis. You go everywhere. Didmas Baraza, just the other day, spared his 2 months salary, full, to donate to the residents in Kimilili, to his constituents in Kimilili. The member of parliament for Ariada, Otinda Molo, also donated his salary, the entire salary, to buy foodstuffs to the residents in his constituents, all of them. And he did that, I think, last weekend. But the question is, are they doing this out of good heart? Or is it because they are philanthropic? Or because they want to use it for political mileage? That's the question. Because, for example, Mike Sonko, let me just use a typical example, is Mike Sonko. Mike Sonko is known as a philanthropic man. Mike Sonko, whenever there's a deserving case in this country, remember, online here, we normally encounter these cases and they're highlighted either on Twitter or on Facebook. Deserving cases are highlighted. Maybe someone is suffering from a unique disease. Someone is living a deplorable condition. Like yesterday, I shared on my Facebook page a guy in a canoe here who was in distress call. His home was surrounded by water, and he was really crying, literally. And when I posted that, and someone also posted it, the guy who initially posted it, because I shared it from that guy, received thousands and thousands of requests from people who are willing to support. But are the politicians doing this because they are philanthropic, or because there's something they want to do? Let me just take, for example, 2 days ago, there was a lady who went and did shopping, serious shopping, and distributed to families, I think in Kibra. So ukiamuka asubuhi unapata shopping kwa mlango. Today nobody knows who that lady was. But politicians, they must announce them publicly, the way this guy has done. But do we draw the line whether they are still philanthropic or opportunist? In my view, I don't still know whether, because most of the cases are actually deserving. In Kiambu, there's a landlord who has literally pulled the doors of the residents of his tenants. So I'm sure a politician might have rushed there and paid for the rents. The question is, why are they doing this? Because these cases have always existed. I mean, Gore Semelango is I don't know him, but people have always told me that he's a guy who is really helping the people in need. But the cases in the areas he's mentioned, these cases have always been there. What has always stopped him from doing it? What of Baba Wino? Raila Odinga today donated foodstuffs and the rest to the residents of Kibra. Let me just read for you the communications from Raila Odinga's office about this particular about his donation. Let me just read it for you. He's saying, His Excellency Raila Odinga and Mama Ida this afternoon donated assortment of supplies to the residents of Kibra through the government of Kenya to help elevate the challenges faced by the community as a result of coronavirus pandemic. To comply with the need for social distancing, the supplies were delivered to the offices of the Deputy County Commissioner in Kibra. The office will organize and coordinate distribution of the supplies. And there was several of them. I'm told they were running into millions and millions of Kenya shillings. And earlier, Dennis Onyango, who is the official communication for Raila Odinga, posted the same. Raila Odinga and Eda Odinga donates assorted supplies. So he was saying the supplies have been mobilized by the family from own savings, corporate and individuals' friends. They include food, sanitizers, soap, oil, and water, all valued at 15 million. Amongst the donors are Kenya Pipeline Corporation, Bidco, Tononoka Steel, Kapu Africa, Kappa Oil, and Jimmy Wanjigi. Very interesting. But in my view, I think the politicians might just mean well. But I think they are driven by the following factor. Number one is free publicity. Currently, this country is facing a lot of challenges. There's a lockdown. The residents cannot work. There are people who depend on daily. They have to go to industrial work and get their money. They can't. So these opportunities provide politicians with free publicity. And because they get free publicities, that's why they rush to those particular cases. If you take, for example, the cases which Mike Songo has handled, most of those cases are issues which are matter of life and death to those people. But he's always gone there, helped those people, and some of those people appreciate. But they provide them with the right publicity. Even in this COVID era, today everybody is talking about Gore Semelango. So it has provided him with that kind of free publicity. Number two, in this country, being poor is being glorified. So the rich people always want to be seen to be pro-poor. That's why I always blame Kenyans. Instead of electing people based on the policies, on what they can do to elevate their conditions, they vote for them because these people appear to be pro them. And that's why it's very common in this country to find someone who is a billionaire aligning himself and appearing to be part and parcel of the poor people. So I think this idea of trying so hard to be seen to be pro-poor is what motivates politicians to donate. I'm sure if Semelango had just gone there and donated these stuffs without making noise, he would not have received the kind of support if the support is receiving today because he had posted about it. So I think this notion that being poor is a good thing for politicians. It's true, politicians like using the poor because the poor are the majority. But in my view, the poor must start changing. They must demand accountability from some of these leaders. There's no way you can be a billionaire, then you work so hard to be seen to be pro-poor. All your kids study in the best schools outside the country. They go to the best medical hospitals. They go to the best, everything the best. But you, as an individual, because you have achieved and you want political position, you want to appear to be part and parcel of the people, of the poor people. You want to be seen to be pro-poor. In my view, that's what's motivating these politicians. Number three, I think the politicians are also motivated by the idea of trying to outshine or outdo each other during these kind of times. For example, Mike Sonko was donating foodstuff in Nairobi through Sonko Rescue Team. What has happened? Sonko has been stopped. The mere fact that Gor Semelango has donated 25 million Kenya shillings, which is going to benefit the poor, is basically currently riding up here. Joho has been mobilizing the residents of Mombasa, businessmen and the rest, which I think in my view is a good strategy, and it's also been trying to find lasting long-term solutions. So you can't really term that as part of this attempt to outshine the rest. But again, as a politician, he's trying to gain advantage over the rest using that. And lastly, I think the politicians also like taking advantage of poor people because they are gullible. If today you are poor, you don't have anything on your stomach, you don't have anything to pay for rent, and someone comes for rent, gives you the rent, and probably gives you another t-shirt branded his name. The next day, because you don't have money to buy a t-shirt, you'll go outside there and start putting on that t-shirt. What will you be doing in effect? In effect, what you'll be doing is that you'll be promoting the brand of that particular politician. So those are some of the reasons I think those are some of the factors which I think motivate politicians to donate during the times of crisis. Because some of these problems they are dealing with are problems which have always been with us here. When you talk of people unable to pay school fees, they are here. Sometimes I even laugh. Like there are cases here in constituency. You at the end of the day, there's someone who passed exams, was called to a good school. At the end of the day, this person case will be highlighted because he didn't get any bursary from county government. He didn't get any bursary from the MP. But once the cases are highlighted, the next day, that person will get thousands and thousands of people willing to sponsor them, including even the county government, which denied him the bursary, including even the member of parliament. So I think as a country, we really need to figure out whether it will be in order for the government to make it mandatory for any person, the age, as particular age. For example, if you are married, then the government pays for you rent if you can't afford. Let's say 5,000. I'm sure it's something the government can do because this country is not poor. This country has a lot of money, but we lose most of those monies through corruption. So if we can stop corruption, if we can stop electing people who are corrupt, then I'm sure we can have enough money so that we don't dignify being poor. Being poor in this country, it has been dignified and it hurts me personally. I don't know what you think, but I think most politicians are donating to most causes because of not being philanthropic. They're just being opportunist. I don't know what you think. And if you're bumping on this video for the first time, I want you to just take a second or two and hit the subscribe button, so that next time we produce a video like this, you get notified. And to the subscribers, I want to thank you guys for your continued support. Without that support, this channel will not be where it is today. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day.